All right, good morning, everyone. It's Friday, the 29th of November. We're here for our first appearance docket. And going to start on my sequence here with Susan Wilt, W-I-L-T. And with regard to the domestic cases, if I forget to say it, it's going to be no victim contact. If you have arguments otherwise as to why I should allow it, then you guys please tell me. All right? All right, so Susan Will, this is a charge of battery. It charges domestic violence. I do find PC on this case. I'll set bond at $2,000, no victim contact.
Judge, if I may.
Yes, please.
The highest, good morning,
Good
Kelsey
morning, good
Monahan on
morning.
behalf of Ms. Wilt.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
The highest, the highest amount of bond she can afford is $20. She's lived in Broward 20 years. All her family's here, and she can live with her mother in Deerfield, separate from the victim.
What's the address in Deerfield?
1033 Southeast 4th Avenue, Deerfield Beach, Florida. I believe it's 33441.
Did you catch
Yeah,
that, Your Honor?
I did.
Okay.
Okay. And when you said $20, did you mean $200 or did you mean $20?
I believe it's just $20, Judge.
Okay. Look, I can do better than the 2,000 based on that. I do have someone standing here in front of me to, no? Okay. What I can do in light of everything, I mean, I'll set the bond at $1,000. It is a domestic charge, and then I wish her the best of luck. Thank you. Then the next one is Kimberly Mead. All right, and Kimberly Mead is also a domestic charge. I do find probable cause. Anything on this before I set bond?
Yes, Judge, she has a separate address from the victim. She can live with her mother. She's been in Broward over 40 years. She works as a part-time RN, and the highest amount of bond she can afford is $50. If Your Honor would be inclined to set her release at pretrial with standard DV conditions.
Okay. Would she qualify for that? Okay. All right.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I spoke with the victim on the case, and the victim would like to have contact.
Okay. You know, this is a difficult one. Just looking at the last paragraph of the PC, I mean, I can tell that it's a different kind of case. What I'll do is pretrial with domestic conditions. State any objection to me authorizing contact since the victim wants contact.
Judge, based on that and their relationship, no, I would have no objection.
Okay. All right, thank you, everyone. Standard, please. Sorry, right. Thank you. You too. The next one I have is Fabiola Delgado. Okay, and good morning. This one really relates to some misdemeanor capiases, so I do find PC. Ms. Delgado has got a hearing 9:30 a.m. on, I think it's Tuesday morning, and so then she'll be able to resolve everything there, okay? Thank you. Next one I have is Heaven Roberts. Okay, and Ms. Roberts is here as well on a traffic capias, really a relatively very minor charge. Talk to me about a bond on this one. She doesn't seem to have any kind of local address. She does have a court hearing Tuesday morning at 9 a.m.
Judge, she does have a local address, which is
3120 Southwest 15th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 3315.
I'm gonna give you the Broward.
Where?
She's lived in Broward about 4 years, Judge.
Okay, So on this one, I mean, I hate to hold her no bond on this particular charge, so, can she make a $250 bond? It's the best I can do, it really is.
That'll work, Judge.
Okay,
Thank
all
you.
right, thank you. And tell her not to forget, it's Tuesday morning, 9 AM. She has a status in Division MT, okay? All right, thank you. Okay,
Judge, if I can call a case out of order.
okay, sure.
It's page, 17? Page 18. He is, okay, Kaiser. Heiser, yeah.
Is it Travis Heiser? Is that the one?
The third to the last, Judge.
All right, I have, is this Mr. Travis Laquan Heiser?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, all right, and this case, it's one count of resisting with violence, one count of trespass, one count of corruption by threat. Before I say anything, is there anything that you wanted to tell me? Not you, sir, but your lawyer.
Just a medication order, Judge.
Okay, all right. So I do find PC on this case. I don't know if there are any other pending charges. I can't really tell. Go ahead and issue a medication order. I'll set bond at $1,000 on count one, which is the obstruction with violence, $100 on the trespass, and $5,000 on the corruption by threat. Thank you. Okay, and then back to Alexandra Riccardelli.
She's a medical reset, Your Honor. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Medical reset. Do you want me to sign it if it's medical reset? All right, thanks. Next one is Carrie Ann VC.
North Broward.
Good morning, Ms. VC. I've got you here on first appearance docket. There's really not much that I can do for you today. I do want to tell you what you're here for. You do have some felony capiases. There are no bond holds on those. You do have statuses in front of Judge McCarthy Tuesday morning at 8:30 on those. You also have a capias or a warrant on a misdemeanor. You got a status on Wednesday morning at 8:30 on those. Finally, there's an out-of-state hold on a felony, and there's a no bond on that one as well. You can't even address the out-of-state one until you address the Broward cases. Hopefully, during this week, you'll be able to address the Broward cases, and you'll be able to start moving on with getting everything cleared up. So I do wish you the best of luck, ma'am.
Do you know more about the out-of-state hold, like, what is it, like?
Well, there's paperwork here for an out-of-state hold. At this point, that's really kind of the least of your worries because you have to take care of these 4 Broward County issues first. When you go to court, particularly on Tuesday morning, your lawyer there will be able to give you a lot more information and maybe even give you some paperwork. Okay? All right. Wish you the best of luck, ma'am. Thank you. The next case is Catherine McBride.
North Broward.
Ms.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Ms. McBride. This case, let me tell you, you're here for first appearance. You're charged with 1 count of possession with intent to sell a drug within 1,000 feet of a school or a park. And then you have count 2, possession of drug paraphernalia. State, anything you want to tell me before I make a decision on this one? Sure, sure.
was 2010 DWLS, 2010 possession of cocaine, where she had violated probation and was adjudicated. And it looks like there are several previous priors, mostly possession of cocaine or possession of oxycodone. They're all drug related.
Okay. Anything you want to tell me?
Yes, Your Honor. I cannot find any probable cause on the part of the young facts to support that testimony.
So on count one, I find no probable cause. On count two, I do find probable cause for possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm just gonna set bond at $100 on count two, ROR on count one because there's no PC, just so that we can, be safe.
And just so Your Honor is aware, she does have a felony case 19-10524 CF10A, which she posted bond for.
19105, CF10A, and what happened on that one?
She had posted bond on August 28th, 2019. It's a pending case.
Okay, what's the charge on that?
Possession of cocaine.
So it's a win the battle, lose the war. You won the battle, no PCS to the felony, PCS to the misdemeanor. She's out on bond on a felony drug charge, so I'm gonna revoke her bond on the felony drug charge for which she's out on bond. But I really hope that when she gets in the division, they can resolve things and maybe get her some help, so. Okay. Thank you, guys. Lavisha Johnson?
Yes.
Is that you, ma'am? Ma'am, good morning. Let me tell you what you're here for today. You were picked up on a warrant on 2 violation of probation matters. The judge has issued no bond warrants on those. So I'm gonna hold you no bond today. You will be in front of that judge Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. At that time, you'll have an opportunity to hopefully resolve these cases and move forward. So I do wish you the best of luck, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next one I have is Douglas Carson. Is that gonna be main jail? Main jail? Hi. All right, is this Mr. Douglas Carson?
Yes,
Okay.
Judge.
So, Mr. Carson, what I show for you is that you've got an out-of-state no bond hold on a felony. The paperwork that I've been given is a little bit confusing. It tends to show that there's a hold out of Monroe County and a hold out of New York. Based on what I see here, though, I am gonna hold you no bond. If it's only an out-of-state warrant, you may go to an extraditions type hearing and figure that part out, but I do wish you the best of luck, sir. Just New York? Okay, so I'm being told nothing in Monroe County, just New York. So we'll probably have an extraditions hearing soon. Okay? Thank you. Next one is Orestes Ramos. Okay, Mr. Ramos, good morning. You're before me, first appearance. It's a domestic violence battery. I do find there's probable cause to hold you for this charge. Before I set bond, anything you want to tell me?
Yes, Judge. He has a separate address from the listed victim. He can afford the maximum of a $500 bond. He works as a mechanic, and he's been in Broward 3 years.
Okay.
And he has family here.
Thank you, thank you. And state anything you want me to know on this one?
Judge is only prior to 2006 resisting without violence. He's given a lift.
Okay, all right. So as I said before, no contact unless there's some family law order that will take over mine. I'll set bond on this one at $500. And can you put that address on the record, the other address, please?
Yes, Judge. What's the other address? Grandma. Get the grandma. Your mom.
My mom?
Yeah. Give him the address.
No, my daughter's,
Yeah. Yeah, the other address.
201, Racket Club Road.
Is that an apartment?
Apartment, apartment 4, I remember.
Apartment 4,
Okay.
Judge.
And did he say Rock Island Road?
No, Racket Club Road.
Racket Club Road.
Rocket Club. Got it, I know it. Okay. Thank you. The next one I have is Jimmy Cruz. Okay, so this is Jimmy Cruz. It's a domestic violence battery as well as a criminal mischief charge. I do find probable cause exists on each of these charges. Anything you want to tell me before I set bond on these?
He does have a separate address from the victim, Judge. And we're requesting that he be released on standard pretrial. He can't afford any monetary bond.
Okay. You know, this one's a little bit tougher on me, or for me, not on me. I'm gonna go ahead and find probable cause. I'm gonna set bond at $2,500 on count one and $100 on the criminal mischief.
Judge, can we get a SAP order in the meantime?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking for that as well. SAP order. Okay, thank you. Forgot to sign this. I'm glad you catch these when I don't sign them, so thank you. Next one is Devon Mills. Okay, and Devon Mills is here on a domestic violence battery charge as well. I do find there's probable cause that exists to hold Mr. Mills on this one. Anything you want to tell me on this one?
Yes, Judge, he has a separate. I'm sorry, 1 second.
Okay. This one?
Sure. Okay, he has a separate address from the victim. He can afford a maximum of a $5,000 bond. He's lived in Broward 10 years. He works, part-time as a mechanic.
Okay. All right, so on this one, I am gonna find probable cause. I'm gonna set bond at $3,000. I do think that, he's got some other issues where he's gonna be back tomorrow, so we'll have to figure that out, okay? All right, thank you. Next one is Christopher Barba. No one's here for him, right? Are you here for Christopher Barba? No? Okay, all right. Christopher Barba, this is, good morning, sir. You're here for an accusation of violating a stalking injunction. I do find there's probable cause that exists to hold you for that charge. Anything you want me to know before I set bond on this one?
Yes, Judge. He has lived in Broward 30 years, and the highest amount of bond he can afford is $2,500.
Okay.
Your Honor, he's currently on pretrial in case number 1901-1207-MM10A with the same victim for violating the injunction. Pretrial is asking that you revoke his pretrial. Judge McHugh placed him on pretrial on November 18th.
All right, so on this one, it kind of comes through from the PC as well that he's got violations. I am going to revoke his pretrial for the one that, 11/28 is just yesterday.
Oh, no, November 18th.
Oh, 18th? Okay. For the one where he was placed on pretrial on November 18th. On this one, though, in case they're able to work out a bond on that other one, I am gonna set bond at $2,500. It is 19011820 MM10A. Thank you. Next one is Jason Campos. Okay, Okay, and Mr. Campos is before the court, one count of domestic battery by strangulation, and then two separate charges of domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause exists to hold Mr. Campos on these charges. A little bit confused about the two separate misdemeanors, but we'll get to that. Talk to me about anything you want me to know.
Judge, he does have a separate address in Deerfield, which he can provide to the court, upon his release. He just needs to make a phone call to his brother. He's lived in Broward 20 plus years, Judge. And he works, he builds screen enclosures for patios.
Okay. All right, and listen, I appreciate how hard you're working for each of your clients here this morning. This PC is a little more disturbing than some of the others. I'm gonna set bond at $5,000 on count one, $1,000 on count two. I'm gonna write ROR on count three, and the reason I'm doing that is because I think three is actually subsumed into one, so I don't think there should be a separate bond, okay? Thank you. Next one is Michael Rakucci. Good morning. This one is an aggravated battery. It's a domestic violence where the victim is known to be pregnant. I do find there's probable cause that exists to hold the defendant on this charge. Anything that you want me to know?
Judge, he's lived in Broward 3 years, and the highest amount of bond he can afford is $2,000.
Okay. I appreciate that. I think on this one, though, just based on the facts, I'm going to go ahead and find probable cause and set bond at $3,500. Thank you. Next one is Bruce Alvarez.
Judge, his parents have hired Miss Curry, I think, who just walked in as his attorney.
She's walking
Okay,
in
is she
now.
coming in now? Hey, good morning, good timing. Okay,
Morning, Judge Cynthia Curry. I'm here on behalf of Bruce Alvarez, and his mother is present.
sure. Ms. Curry, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the paperwork on this one. It's, as you know, a first appearance hearing. Just so you know the charges, it's one count of aggravated assault with intent to commit a felony, one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, one count of burglary dwelling, one count of burglary with a battery, one count of domestic violence battery, and then one count of criminal mischief. It's the $200 to $1,000 misdemeanor amount on that one. So I did have an opportunity prior to starting today to review the probable cause affidavit. I do believe that there's probable cause, but there's a couple things we could do. I could go ahead and do that. I could put it on recall so you could look at it. It's not much paperwork, whatever you want me to do.
Judge, I think I'm comfortable with you going right ahead. I know what the circumstances were. We were in contact with the parents yesterday as well as this morning, and I've had a chance to briefly review the probable cause affidavit.
Anything you want to tell me in terms of bond or affordability or what you're looking for, or
Judge, not really. The only thing I did want to make the court aware of is that Mr. Alvarez had previously been seen by a psychiatrist, and I believe he was prescribed some medication, and I just want to make sure the jail is aware that he probably needs to be evaluated and given whatever medication is necessary.
So let's do this. If you want me to sign some, like a medication management order, something like that, I'll sign that. I think the best thing to do on this case, though, is for you to give it a shot in the division to have a full-blown bond hearing, if that's what you want.
Yes, Judge, I think we'd come to that conclusion
Sure.
ourselves.
The burglar with a battery, or burglar with an assault, I'll call it, because it's a throwing the.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna hold him no bond on that, and then the others, I'll set some bond amounts just so you have them, okay? All
Thank
right.
you very much,
Your Honor.
Judge.
Okay. Yes.
He's currently on pretrial in case number 19012524 CF10A for conspire to traffic cocaine, deliver cocaine, sell cocaine, possession of THC, possession with intent to sell, manufacture, deliver, distribute, deliver cannabis, and sell peyote. Pretrial is asking that you revoke his pretrial. He's finding probable cause in this case.
Ms.
Judge,
Curry,
he also has another case pending. It's 19-12463 CF10A for resisting with violence and battery on a law enforcement officer.
got it. Are you on those cases as well?
We are, Judge.
Okay.
The trafficking charges have not been filed. We're in discussions with the case filer on those. The others are currently pending in front of Judge Casey.
Okay. So, look, he's gonna be held no bond on 3 different matters. You just have to, you know what to do.
Yes, Judge.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna revoke his pretrial on 19-012524. The other one, 12463, he's not on pretrial, he didn't bond out or anything, right? So,
Judge, he did bond out.
all right,
It's
so,
a third-degree felony, Judge. He did bond out on that case.
okay. I'm gonna revoke his bond on that one too, and ultimately, if you can work out some kind of package thing with Judge Casey, that works. Today here, I'm gonna hold him no bond on the armed burglary and the burglary with the assault. I'm gonna set bonds of $5,000 on the 2 aggravated assaults. Sure. So let's do 5,000, 5,000 on 2, no bond, then 1,000, and then 100.
And is Your Honor finding proof evident presumption of rate on the law?
Do I have to do that?
The state is asking if you are.
I mean, based on the PC, I can make that finding. I don't think that keeps you guys from having a future
hearing,
full-blown
yes,
bond hearing, so, okay. All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you, Judge.
It's nice to see you.
You too.
I didn't write in the 1 through 7 there, I didn't write, okay. Antonio Shine? Good morning, Mr. Shine, you're before me, accused of 1 count of felony battery. I do find that there's probable cause to hold you on this. Looks like you came to us from the Martin County Jail, I guess. I'm not sure, but anything that you guys want to tell me before I talk about bond on this one?
Judge, he's lived in Broward his entire life. And he can't afford any amount of bond. We're requesting standard pretrial.
Okay. So on this one, I don't know that I can do standard pretrial. He's coming from having cases in other areas as well. It's listed as a no bond by the domestic violence judge. In looking at it, I'll go ahead and set bond at $5,000, obviously no victim contact. Thank you. Next one is Alvin Williams.
Conti, Your Honor.
5,000. Yeah, sorry. Okay, you Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good morning. I have you here today for first appearance on 1 count of resisting an officer without violence. The way that I'm looking at it, I think that's an add charge. I think you've already had first appearance on the main charge. So just as to this add charge only, which is resisting an officer without violence, I find there's probable cause to hold you. I'm gonna set bond at $100. But really what it depends on is what happens on the first charge. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I wish you the best of luck, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next one is Jordan Pinkney. Does that mean
Your
you?
Honor, could recall him, please?
Sure. So we'll recall Jordan Pinkney, and then we'll go to Isaac Nixon.
North Broward, Your Honor, we had him down, he spoke with the PD and he refused to attend. He
Okay.
didn't want to stay.
Okay, so then on Isaac Nixon, he was down, he didn't want to attend. I'll just do the first appearance in his absence, finding PC and setting bond, on each count at $100. Okay. You can only do the best that you can do, so thank you. Vernon Coleman?
Good morning, Your Honor. Devika Carr on his behalf. Hi, Judge.
How are you?
He's at Main Jail. I'm good, thank you.
Okay, he's at Main Jail.
Yes, Your Honor. And I'm here on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Public Defender.
Great,
Asking
thank you
to be
for,
appointed.
thank you for being here, so I'm gonna appoint you on this one, and, good morning, Mr. Coleman.
Could someone help him by pushing the button so he can speak? Thank you.
There he is, okay. All right, good morning, sir. So it's initially, it's a trespass municipal ordinance charge. I find there's probable cause, but what do you want me to do?
Your Honor, he would like to resolve, I'm asking for time served, however, to be candid with the court. He received 4 other NTAs, so he has 4 other municipal ordinance cases open. Each of them is set for arraignment December 11th, and one is set for December 18th in front of 2 separate judges. I would ask if Your Honor is inclined to allow him to resolve all of them. I can tell you what the charges are. It's another trespass and 2 alcoholic beverage possessions, and then 1 is possession of paraphernalia and controlled substance. I do understand that because they're not on your docket, you may not be inclined to resolve them.
I'll tell you this, if I had first appearance all week, I would put them on tomorrow and I would resolve all of them.
Okay.
It's just hard when, I have the
I
one
understand.
day and I can't get a real feel for it.
That's fine. So I would just be asking then, because of those future court dates, I would like to be appointed
Okay.
so that he has representation. And then if Your Honor would allow him to resolve the one that's here today, he cannot afford his bond.
Sure. Would you want to do that, or would you want to set it over till December 11th? You have him coming back December 11th, right?
For the other cases that are not on your docket, right?
Sure.
But for this case today, he can't afford the bond, so
Listen,
otherwise,
It's your call, though.
yes,
I'll
he'd like to resolve.
I'll ROR him, and he can come back December 11th, and you take care of everything?
Yeah.
Or I can resolve this one here today, and then you do what you want to in December 11th, your choice.
Yeah, the problem is that the other cases are in 2 separate judges, and then this one's also assigned to a different judge.
Okay.
So I don't know that they would all get on the same date.
I understand.
So, Mr. Coleman, would you like to resolve the case that's here today, and then we'll just see you in court December 11th?
December 11th, yes, I
Okay.
resolved today.
Is that
No
okay, Judge?
contest.
Okay, all right. Okay, sir, I have to go through a few questions with you. I just need you to raise your right hand for me, as best you can. Okay, got it. Is your name Vernon Coleman?
Yes, sir.
And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and put your hand down. All right, so Mr. Coleman, I just need to explain a few things to you. You have the absolute right to have a trial, and you have the right to have a lawyer represent you at that trial. You've got a great lawyer here who's arguing for you, trying to resolve this case.
I appreciate it.
What you're doing, though, by telling me that you want to plead no contest and that you want to resolve this case, is you're saying, Judge, I don't want my lawyer to investigate the case. I don't want to have a trial, no appeals, nothing like that. I just want to get this one over with, get it past me, and I want to move on with my life. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you understand that this can hurt you in the future, and the way it can hurt you is, in Florida, we have a score sheet or a criminal punishment code system. And so when your charges start going on there, this charge, even though it's a simple charge, will be on that score sheet. It'll come with 0.2 of 1 point. That means 5 of these equals 1 point. But still, it'll be on that score sheet. And do you understand it could hurt you in the future?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen, at some point in the future, maybe the immigration laws change, maybe they say anyone with a trespass gets deported. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this case could result in your deportation?
Yes, sir.
Knowing and understanding all, okay,
I am a United States citizen.
all right.
I was
And
born here.
I didn't ask you that, but I appreciate you telling me that. I just want to make sure that you understand all these consequences.
Yes, sir.
Okay, last thing, do you have any questions for me or for your lawyer?
No.
Okay.
She said December, hold it. You say December 11th is when the rest of the cases?
Yeah, he just wants to know his next court date.
December 11th, you have, I think, 3 or 4 cases, and
Three.
December 18th, you have one more. she might try to see if she can get them all December 11th. So December 11th, you gotta be
Okay.
there. Don't miss.
Okay, I'll
Judge
be
Brown.
there December 11th.
Okay. All right. And then, Mr. Coleman, do you want to plead no contest here today?
No contest, sir.
All right. I do find Mr. Coleman to be alert, intelligent, polite. Seems to be doing well today, and so I'm going to go ahead, accept his no contest plea, and I'm going to sentence him to time served on this municipal ordinance case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much for your
You're
hard work.
welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
Have a
you,
great
sir.
day, Vernon.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Next one I have is Otis Rodden.
No problem, John.
And this is a City of Hollywood capias, Your Honor, asking to be appointed on his behalf as well. Morning, Otis.
Morning.
And this is a misdemeanor capias. I'm going to appoint the city attorney to represent you on this one. I do find there's probable cause regarding this. What would you like me to do today?
Mr. Otis, do you want to resolve your case today?
Yes, ma'am. I've been hospitalized since I was 21 to 57 now with psychotropic medications, depressant medications, and sometimes lately I'm a little older, but I have a problem seeing. About a year ago in Orlando, my sight, this side has no vision, this has none. I haven't taken my medicine in about a year, and I get a little splandish sometimes without my medicine, and I might wander here or there, and I could actually almost got lost last night. It seemed like walking around out in the parking lot by the police station. I didn't have no intent to have any harm anywhere when I was lost and down in the yard at the places there where I was lost, sir. I have no other charges but a drinking in public charge in Salem County, New Jersey. This would be another charge. There might be a couple little charges of basically maybe just sitting in the wrong place. But as far as big things, anything serious, there wasn't anything, sir, that I've ever been really guilty of.
Okay.
Uh,
Is this a time served offer?
It's kind of like cartooned a little
Your
bit
Honor's
with me.
inclined, but-
Go ahead. I don't want to go any further, but.
Okay. I understand, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I understand, sir. And state, you don't have a position because it's a city case, but so in terms of where we are though, it's simply a trespass, right?
That's correct,
So,
Judge.
okay. All right, so Mr. Rodden, you have a lot of options. I don't know that you heard what I just went through with the gentleman before you because of the way our system works here, but you don't have to plead no contest. You don't have to resolve this case here today, but you believe that it's in your best interest to resolve it here today?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't have any.
Okay. Do this for me as best you can. Just raise your right hand for me. All right. Sir, is your true name Otis Rodden?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead and put your hand down. Do you swear that you'll tell me the truth here today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Mr. Rodden, I want to go over a few things with you. It's going to be rather quick, but if you don't understand, please tell me. You understand that you do have the right to have a trial on this charge, but you're telling me that you want to waive that right. You want to waive the right to have your lawyer investigate the case and question witnesses and do all of those kind of things because
sir.
you want to go ahead and plead no contest and put this case past you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Rodden, you were very honest with me. You told me that you were on psychotropic medications for approximately 36 years, from age 21 to age 57. So talk to me about how you're feeling today. Do you understand everything that's happening here today?
Yes, sir. I haven't been on my meds for a year, but I do have a contingency to understand basically what's going on through the day. I can pretty much get myself through the day.
Okay.
I'm a little slippery, if you understand. It's like a little cartoon instead of a strong reality, but yet there's a reality that goes on through my day. So I'm 100%.
Sure.
But it's a little on the sloppy side, but I'm not that well off that I can't get through the day.
So here's what I need to do. I need to make sure that you're waiving your rights is
Yes, I am, sir.
is knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently done. And I need to make sure that it's not because you're missing your medications. You seem to me to be alert and intelligent, and you're well-spoken here today. I just want to make sure if you're telling me, for example, hey, Judge, I'd rather get my medications and come back tomorrow, that's perfectly fine with me. I just need to know how you feel today.
I feel okay about your situation, your decisions.
Okay?
It's
Do you understand that this could potentially hurt you in the future in two main respects? One is that this charge will be on your score sheet. It'll come with a fraction of a point, 0.2 of a point. And two, if you're not a United States citizen, there could be a time in the future where trespass is a deportable offense, and then this case will cause you to be deported. Do you understand those two very significant consequences?
Yes, sir.
Do you still want to plead no contest here today?
Yes, sir.
Do you need
I
any,
haven't,
sure, do you need any more time to talk to your lawyer?
no, sir.
Okay, she's done a really nice job for you. I'm gonna go ahead and accept your no contest plea. I'm gonna sentence you to time served. I do wish you the very best of luck, sir, and I hope things all work out for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Have
All
a
right.
good day, Otis.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
sir.
ma'am.
Thank you, Chad.
The next case I have is Sherrod Thompson. You guys know where Sherrod Thompson might be? Manger? Okay. Is that
Jail judge.
Hi, is that Mr. Thompson? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Thompson, you're being held on a capias, which is a warrant for a misdemeanor charge of operating without a valid license. I do believe there's probable cause to hold you on that charge. There's already a preset bond of $250, so it really would be best for you to go ahead and, if you can, post that bond, and then you'll be in court soon, and you can resolve this case, I hope. Okay? All right, thank you. Next case I have is Dallas Keith.
He's a medical reset judge.
Thank you. Next one I have is Stephen Kusharski. Okay, Mr. Kusharski, good morning. You're before me for a first appearance hearing. You're accused of 3 separate counts of DUI. I want to explain that to you. It doesn't mean 3 DUIs. You can be charged different ways in one DUI. You've got 1 count of DUI, alcohol or drugs, first offense, 1 count of DUI with damage, 1 count of DUI with a unlawful blood alcohol level. I do find that there's probable cause to hold you on that. Anything that you want me to know before I set the bond?
Yes, Judge, he is a veteran. He was in the Army for 6 years. And he's lived in Broward for 2 years.
Got it. Okay. What I'm gonna do, the way that the bonds are listed on, our sheet here, it's somewhat duplicative, so just so that everyone's clear, I'm gonna set bond at, it's listed as 3 counts. It's gonna be ROR on count 1, 1,000 on count 2, 1,000 on count 3, for a total of $2,000. And let's see, I don't think there's a victim situation here. Okay, and then I wish him the best of luck. Thank you so much. Next one is Matthew Amison.
Go for our John.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Amison, good morning. You're before the court on 1 count of trespass. This is your first appearance hearing. I do find that there's probable cause to hold you on this misdemeanor trespass charge. Is there anything that you want me to hear, knowing that anything you say can be used against you because you're here representing yourself this morning? Anything at all you want me to hear?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Fine.
So I'm just gonna set the nominal standard bond of $25. I don't know if you have any other charges. I wish you the best of luck, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
No return.
Here's that. Can't go back to that
Second
footage.
plea call on page 9, Mr. Pinkney, he's up.
We're going back to page 9 of the docket, Jordan Pinkney. And this is a battery charge. Good morning, Mr. Pinkney. On this one, it's not one where I review a PC or anything. It looks to me like it's actually an ad charge. I'm gonna go ahead and find that there's probable cause to hold him, set bond at $1,000 on this ad charge. If I read it correctly, he's already got a higher bond on a separate felony. Sir, you'll be before Judge Bailey, I think, on Wednesday morning at 8:30, and then your lawyer can help you clear things up. Okay? Sir? So that might be on purpose, but I can't hear him. Yeah, okay. Got it. All right. Frederick Ingram is my next one. Okay, and that's bond out. Okay. Next one is Brandon Loisy. Bonded? Okay, great. Next one is Jason Desmangles. Okay, this is Jason Desmangles. How are you, sir? I can't hear you guys. I don't know.
There's a lot going on in the back, Judge.
Oh, got it. Okay. Sir, do you have any objection to me hearing this case? Because I think you and I know each other. I can't hear him.
He says that you guys probably know each other from some years ago.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure you're okay with me sitting on the case, though, right? All right. Okay, so listen, you're here, this is a relatively simple situation. You're here for one count of driving under the influence. I do find there's probable cause to hold you on it. Standard bond's $500. I'm gonna go ahead and, order that for you, and then, if you can, just go ahead and bond out and get someone in place to help you with this, okay? I wish you the best of luck. Okay, Mauricio Pradera?
No, Brown John, Mr. Perdere refused to attend.
Okay. So, you think it's a medical reset, though?
No, it's not, he just refused. It's an ad charge also. He was here
Okay.
a couple of days ago, so he knows.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, if it's, a refusal, I'm just gonna magistrate him in his absence. It's an ad charge, it's a $25 bond. I find probable cause. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
DeAndre Newsome? Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, DeAndre Newsome is up. This is an ad charge as well, it looks like. He has an arraignment on Monday morning. It might be Judge Fine, FA, at 9 a.m. I'm gonna find probable cause on this one, and then he'll be able to take care of it at his arraignment.
And Judge, the state is requesting that you find proof evident presumption great on this charge. I understand that it's an ad charge and he's being held no bond on his other charge.
So here's the thing, there's no way I could find proof evident presumption great, because as an ad charge, all it is the capias sheet, so I can't really read any of the facts or anything. If you have something you want me to read and consider it, I could do that. Okay. Yeah, so she's gonna need a copy too. We can. You think it's gonna take a? Okay. can put him on recall then. I really want to get you guys out of here by 10:30, so I'm gonna, okay? So,
Thank you, Judge.
all right, so put DeAndre Newsom on recall, just as to the proof evident presumption great finding. So then next I have,
Judge, in order to be given adequate notice, so, council can respond, I would request that hearing be held in his division.
um,
But it's okay, I'll withdraw my
Okay.
request considering that I can't get the document.
okay. So she's gonna withdraw her request. In all candor, I know that there's case law regarding proof evident presumption great, but I think it should all be handled in the division anyway. So I appreciate the request, but we'll move forward to the next one, which is Eric Ramsey, okay? Thank you. I'm sorry?
Conti, Your Honor.
No bond, yeah. Okay, Eric Ramsey, looks like it's a first VOP. It's,
Conti,
I'm sorry. Mr. Ramsey, good morning. I've got you up as well on an ad charge. It relates to a first VOP. You're going to have this hearing in front of Judge Merrigan on Wednesday, so I'm going to hold you no bond, but on Wednesday, you'll be able to hopefully get some resolution on this, okay? I wish you the best of luck, sir. Vladimir Ortiz? Is he main jail, you think? Vladimir Ortiz is next. So this one, we've got a driving while license suspended arrest. It's a standard bond of $100 on that. But there's also a VOP warrant, and he'll have a hearing in front of Judge Usan on Tuesday morning at 8:30. So he's got to be held no bond as to that VOP, and wish him the best of luck. Thank you. Next, I have Taiwan Williams. Okay, Mr. Williams, you're before the court, having been arrested with 2 pending violation of probation matters. I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to hold you, and I'm gonna keep you no bond, but just so you have an idea, you have a hearing on Tuesday morning in front of Judge Usan, and then Wednesday morning in front of Judge Levy, so hopefully you'll be able to resolve all of these things. I wish you the best of luck, sir. Next is Raydell Jordan. Sir, good morning. You're here with regard to a VOP warrant on a grand theft charge. There's a no bond warrant that was placed on you. I'm gonna hold you no bond as to that warrant, but you'll have a hearing in front of Judge Coleman on Tuesday morning at 8:30, and I hope that you can resolve it that morning, okay? Thank you so much. Next, I have Joseph Cunningham. Mr. Cunningham is here with an arrest for possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia. He also, though I guess more seriously, has an out-of-county no-bond felony hold. So I've got to hold him no bond with regard to that. With regard to the 2 new charges, I'll set bond at $1,000 on the cocaine and $100 on the drug paraphernalia. And then there seems to be a second drug paraphernalia count, which I'll just ROR him on. Which you said I don't have to say. All right. Thank you. Next one is Yuri Richards. And Mr. Richards is here, being held on a no bond felony violation of probation. His hearing is in front of Judge Colra Tuesday morning at 8:30. So I'm going to hold him no bond, and hopefully on Tuesday morning he can resolve this matter. Thank you. Next one's Cambrell Ivy. And Mr. Ivy's here on a no bond violation of probation warrant. It looks like his hearing's in front of Judge Usan on Tuesday morning at 8:30. I'm gonna hold him no bond and wish him the best of luck Tuesday morning. Thank you. Next one is Jeremy Galindo. And Mr. Galindo's here on 3 felony counts. Two of them are uttering a false instrument, and the third one is grand theft. Each one, I find that there's probable cause, and bond is set at $1,000 on each count. Looks like it's a not in custody capias type of case, so he already has an arraignment for Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Next one is Donald Wilson.
They're getting him from the back, Judge. If we could please recall this.
Sure. And let's go to Charles Stewart. Okay, good morning, Mr. Stewart. Got Mr. Stewart here on 1 count of resisting with violence, 1 count of trespass. I do find that there's probable cause to hold Mr. Stewart. Before I set bond, anything you want me to know?
Yes, Judge. The maximum amount of bond he can afford is $250. He works as a glass technician, and he has family here. He's lived in Broward 5 years. 5 years.
Judge, he does have a pending case that he's out on bond for, 193886 CF10A. It's for obstructing fire equipment, a third-degree felony, and resisting without violence.
All right. Well, it's another win the battle, lose the war case, so gonna revoke his bond on 193886 CF10A. Should he be able to work out a bond with the division judge on that case, just so he has bonds set here, I'll set bonds at $250 on count 1 and ROR on count 2, and then we'll see where we end up. Thank you. So you guys got that revoke on 3886? Oh, okay. Did you guys hear that? So, counsel in court wants me to put a $1 bond on count 2. Oh, just leave it? Okay. So,
It was no charge.
yeah,
from
yeah.
what it looks like.
I got it. And actually, just in deference to the clerk, she told me to keep my mouth shut on the NCs, and I've been failing to do that a little bit. So, we're gonna leave the NC as an NC, so he gets any credit time served that he's due. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
We have Donald Wilson is
Okay,
right here.
thank you. Okay, Mr. Wilson, good
Same
morning.
page.
Got you here on a disorderly conduct, but more importantly, on some probation violation matters. Now, the probation violation matters look like they're gonna go in front of Judge Porth on Tuesday morning. It's probably best that you see him on Tuesday morning, because he can help you with all of these matters. I'll find probable cause with regard to the disorderly intoxication, just set the nominal bond at $25, but I wish you the best of luck Tuesday morning.
Judge, also, can we please get an evaluation for medication order?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. Okay, Orville Ware is the next one?
Your Honor, if we could please recall that one?
Okay, are you here for that one, man? Okay, he does have people in court for him, so just let me know when he's ready, okay? Orville Ware will put on recall. Anthony Roberts? Hey, Mr. Roberts is before the court. It's a first appearance hearing on a burglary charge. And I do find that there's probable cause to hold him for that burglary. He also has some misdemeanor capiases. Those have nominal amounts of $50 each. Anything you want me to hear with regard to the burglary?
Yes, Judge, he's lived in Broward his whole life. He's not able to post any nominal bond right now, Judge. We're requesting for standard pretrial, if Your Honor's not inclined to standard pretrial, pretrial with a GPS, waive fees, open schedule.
Is he eligible for that? Okay, all right.
And Your Honor, if I may, as to counts 2 and 3, those are municipal ordinances from the city of Hollywood.
Okay.
Tavika Carr on his behalf asking to be appointed. I would just ask that because they are municipal city ordinances, I would ask that those be ROR'd if he's going to be placed on pretrial.
Okay. All right, any more information on this individual? I'm showing he's 60 years old, he's lived in the county for many, many years.
Judge, as far as history, he was adjudicated in 2005 of misdemeanor battery, also adjudicated in 2005 of disorderly conduct, criminal mischief. Aside from that, his most recent prior was 1999 for escape. He served 24 months in prison as a habitual offender, and he has other priors before 1999.
Okay.
And prior to that, he stayed in New York in 2012.
Okay. Look, I don't know if he's gonna qualify for pretrial with an electronic monitor. I mean, look, he's 60 years old. At some point, I think that I just need to get him out of the jail. So, I'll go ahead and see if he qualifies for pretrial release, electronic monitor, open schedule, and I'll ROR him on the city ordinance cases.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
And Judge, if you could please just waive the fees of the monitor.
Can I, does the magistrate judge usually do that, or do they leave it to the division?
Yeah, you can. If you want.
Yeah, can you, I know it won't be you, but can you just leave a note for them to handle that in the division? Okay, all right, thanks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, I have Roger Walker. Okay, Mr. Walker's before the court. He's accused of possession of a firearm by convicted felon. He's got a resisting without violence, and then he's got an open container. With regard to these, I do find probable cause exists. Anyone want to be heard on bond? I know, I see. He's talking to.
Landscaping and tree trimmers.
Judge, he's lived in Broward his whole life. He does landscaping and tree trimming. He is already obligated to pay $500 a month in child support, which he is paying on. So we're requesting that a low bond be set, so it doesn't overextend him with his child support.
Okay. Anything state that you want me to know?
He was most recently convicted on a 2015 case and sentenced to 25 months in Florida State Prison. It was for DWS habitual offender. He also has priors in 2012 for neglect of a child without great bodily harm, in which he was sentenced 53 months Florida State Prison as habitual offender. 2011 burglary, conveyance, and occupied, all the same charges in 2008 and 2005 and 2004. He was also sentenced as a habitual offender in those cases.
And Judge, if I may, his son was in the vehicle who has a concealed carry, and that was his gun.
Okay. Well, you know, I think you guys know what I always say, most decisions a judge makes, in fact, 98% of them are easy, and then there's the two that are hard. This one's a little bit harder. I think you may have some defenses based on what you're saying, but I think the best I can do in light of the charges and everything is, setting bond at 5,000 on count one. And, I don't have to do anything on counts 2 and 3, it looks like.
And would Your Honor order no weapons as a condition of his release if he posts bond?
He's already got that condition, but I'll reiterate, no weapons, sure. Okay. Thank you, guys. Next one is James Arrington.
Judge, Mr. Weir is here.
Okay.
He's page 16, the top of the page 16.
Got it. You both want to come up? Okay, so we're here this morning on Orville Weir. Counsel, you prefer I don't read the charges? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
We've got 3 serious felony charges that he's here for an arraignment on. I've had an opportunity to read the probable cause report. I do find that there's probable cause to hold him on these charges. Sir, your lawyer will advise you of the nature of the charges. You do have 2 people here for you. Is there anything before I set bond that you want to tell me?
Judge, for all cases, the maximum amount of bond he can afford is $5,000.
I understand. I appreciate that. Ma'am?
No, basically, I'm here, I'm not sure what's really going on to support him and see how I can assist. I'm not sure if there's a bond.
State any recommendation as to bond on this one?
Judge, his history is 2010 delivery of cannabis adjudicated, 2008 battery with an unknown disposition as far as Broward cases. The state would be requesting at least a $25,000 bond.
25,000 as to each count?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. So it's a pretty serious probable cause affidavit. In light of everything, I'm gonna set bond on each count at $20,000. It'll be a total of $60,000. Obviously, no contact whatsoever with the victim, direct or indirect. And so, sir, what that means is that it's not just you that can't have any contact with this victim, but I can't have any family members reaching out to this victim or the victim's family. These cases are very complicated. Just work with your lawyers. They take a long time to work through well, and I wish you the best of luck, sir. All right, thank you.
Your Honor, we're requesting a order for, to have photos taken
Absolutely,
of any injuries or.
absolutely. Okay, yeah, if you want to prepare that for me. I saw the booking photo, so if you want to prepare that, I will. Okay, thank you for being here to support him.
Oh, and yes, Judge, a photo order?
Yes, yes. Yeah, she asked for that. She asked for that. All right. Thank you. Take care. All right. James Arrington? Yeah, Mr. Arrington, you're arrested on a reckless driving charge. That's, in the overall scheme of things, from what we see, it's relatively minor, but what you have that's more important is you have no bond holds on violations of probation. With regard to those, you'll go before Judge Duffy on Tuesday morning at 8:30, and hopefully you can resolve those. I'm just gonna set a bond of $100 on the reckless driving, but you're no bond on those violation of probation matters, and so Tuesday will be the earliest that you can really deal with those. So I wish you the best of luck.
And Judge, can we get a SAP order, please?
Sure. Thank you. Next I have is Win Erico. Okay, this is Win Erico. It's, a, battery charge. I do find there's probable cause, with regard to this. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
We can't hear. Can she please speak into the microphone?
Sure.
Can you hear me now, Kelsey?
Yes.
Okay. So, this probable cause that's in front of the court is based off of a capias, that I saw in Odyssey being an out of custody, probable cause, and in that there's no facts as to what occurred, how it occurred. It's just pure legal conclusion that a touch or a strike happened and injuries occurred. And so I'm asking the court to find no PC, as there's no specifics as to what happened, how it happened, what exactly the injuries are, and requesting him to be ROR.
State?
Judge, this is strictly for probable cause and not for an incident report, which is generally more detailed. All that is required to be alleged is that a turner strike did happen, and additionally states that the defendant caused bodily harm, which was documented with photographs, which indicates that there were injuries in this case, and that the state would request that Your Honor find probable cause.
Right. I think it's a good argument. I do think that there's PC to hold him based on the paperwork that I have here. What I'll do is I'll find PC, I'll set bond at $1,000. Yes.
Before bond is
Sure.
set, the state would like for you to be aware that in 2018, he was convicted of aggravated battery, great bodily harm, where he was sentenced to 1 year in prison as a habitual offender. 2017, felony battery with priors, 364 days in Broward County Jail. And 2009, battery, great bodily harm, where he was also adjudicated.
And Judge,
Let me ask you.
if the state.
Hold on one second. Let me ask you this, though. So this one, this is a PC from about 5 months ago. You have anything in the 5 months?
No, Judge, not that shows up
Yeah.
on his BCC.
I'm just gonna set bond at $1,000 for that reason, okay? All right, okay. Thank you. I have next. Did you want to add anything? No? Okay. I have.
No, Judge, thank
okay.
you.
I have next David Solomon. Okay, and Mr. Solomon's before the court with regard to grand theft auto charge. I do find that there's probable cause with regard to that charge. Anything before I go ahead and set bond?
No, Judge, just requesting that it stay the same as the recommendation.
Sure. I'm gonna set bond at $1,000 on the charge, and I wish Mr. Solomon the best of luck. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
he does have a pending case, 17-7473 CF10A, a burglary conveyance, where he
Yep.
is out on bond.
All right, give me 1 second. So, Mr. Solomon, come back just for a second. What was that case number?
17-7473 CF10A.
Who's the judge on that one? Do you know?
One moment, Your Honor. Yes, I do. Tim Bailey.
Mr. Solomon, so here's what's happening. While I'm setting bond at $1,000 on this grand theft auto case, the state's advised me that you're currently out on bond on a separate felony case, and that's 17-00-7473 CF10A. So on that, I'm gonna revoke your bond. What you're gonna have to do is address that with Judge Bailey. Both cases will go to him, and see what you can do with regard to bond. Okay? Thank you. The next case I have I may be out of order here. The next one I have is Brandon Paramore. Is that what you guys have?
North Broward.
Okay,
He's a medical research on it.
okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, then I have Creighton Griggs,
He's on medical loan, Judge.
medical loan. Okay. Okay, thank you. Then I have Miguel Forrest. Okay, Mr. Forrest, good morning. I've got you before me because you have two violation of probation matters. They're both in front of Judge Fine. You'll see him Tuesday morning at 8:30. So I do have probable cause to hold you on these. These are no bond warrants, so I'm just gonna keep the bond there, but I wish you the best of luck Tuesday morning, and I hope you can resolve these, sir. Okay, and then I have Leon Hatcher. And Mr. Hatcher, good morning. I have you as well on a violation of probation matter. There's a no bond hold out of Judge Coleman's courtroom. You will be in front of him Tuesday morning at 8:30, and I hope you can resolve that matter in front of him at that point. So I do wish you the best of luck as well, sir. All right, guys, I'm showing that's the whole docket. Do you have anything that we missed? You're good? Empty room?
That's it. Thank you,
Okay,
Judge.
you're good? Okay. All right, listen, thank you all. Happy Thanksgiving, and I really appreciate all of your hard work, and see you soon. All right, thanks. Think- I hit speakers off here. Is there anything else I'm supposed to do? No? He'll tell me. All right. No, just today. Yeah. We did okay. It's 10 o'clock. That's not bad, right? Yeah. It says Murphy on this, so I'm just gonna cross his name out and put mine, okay? All right. Oh, good. I'm glad I didn't say anything I'm not supposed to. What do I hit here? See, I had speakers off before. Just- I'll just not talk. Thanks for that. Hi, how are you? Sure,